All right, so we've got a table below that represents the function y equals 3x plus 1. But we want to find the missing y values. We actually have two of them that we want to find. We want to find the missing y value for 1, x equals 1, and the missing y value for x equals 2. So you're going to start by just loading that function into your calculator, 3x plus 1. And then you can go to the next line and you can put in x equals 1. And that tells you that it is a 4 that comes out when you load in that x equals 1. So now we're going to go ahead and load in x equals 2 and see what happens, and that brings out a 7. Always make sure that you're reading the number on the line where you've typed the equation. People get confused sometimes and they read this equal 2 down here, but that's what we put in. So you got to read what's on the line where you've typed into the equation. So these are super simple to get. You just have to concentrate, be careful, type them in correctly, and make sure to plug in the right number to make sure you get out the correct number. All right, let's see what's next. We've got a graph, and we have to pick a graph that has a slope of -2. So the first thing we're going to do there is we're going to look at all the slopes and see what kind of slopes they have. This has a negative slope. This has a negative slope. This has a positive slope. And this has an undefined slope. So we know for sure that C and D are out. But we need to find a -2 slope. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dot on the point there. And then I'm going to find the next point down the line there. So I found 2. I'm going to find the point here. And then I'm going to go down and find my next point there. All right, so the next thing I have to do is count my slopes and see what happens. So I'm going down here, so I know it's negative. I'm going down 1, 2, 3 over 1. So this is a -3 over 1 slope, or you can just write -3. Okay, and let's count this one. This is a negative again, -1, 2 over 1. So this is a -2 over 1, and you know you can write that just as a -2. Whoops, sorry about that. Which is exactly what we're looking for. So that would be our slope right there. Okay? Let's see what we have next. All right, we want to write the equation of this line. First thing you're going to do is find your y-intercept, which is right there. Then I'm going to travel up my line until I find a place where the line crosses exactly on the corner of those grids. Okay? Now we know that our equations need to look like this. Y equals mx plus b. M is your slope, b is your y-intercept. Ms. Benson and I have also been writing them this way this week. Y equals slope times x plus or minus y-intercept. So we got to make sure that we get that whole thing, you know, in there correctly. So let's see what we can do. First of all, our y-intercept, as you can see right here, is a -3. So we're going to put that -3 in this box. And then we're going to count our slope. We're going up, so we know it's positive. We went up 1, and we're going to the right 3. Okay? And that was a 3. So we know our slope is a positive 1/3. And if you want to write it neatly, it's going to be y equals 1/3 x minus 3. And this is the equation of this line that we're looking at right there. Okay? The next one, it says write the equation of this line. So again, let's find the y-intercept. Let's go up until we find another corner, which is right here. Oops. All right. Again, I'm going to go ahead and write y equals slope times x plus or minus the y-intercept. We've been writing it this way as well. Line where the slope goes, box where your y-intercept goes. Well, we know our y-intercept is a +1, and now we have to count the slope. We're going up, so it's positive 1, 2 over 1. So it is a +2 slope. So to write it neatly, it would be y equals 2x plus 1, and that would be your equation. All right. Remember, you've got a lot of practice from last week too. Just go to your November 8th, I believe, Friday, or actually Thursday. So go to your November 7th review on Blackboard, and you can find a lot more examples of these.